that company has to follow certain guidelines, which is common for all, which should be common, ideally uniform all across. So that is what the program is this, like, because if people are sitting at Kerala and people sitting at Punjab, so they should not, there should not be any ambiguity that okay, this is required, this is not required. So people, like FSSAI, government body, this Food Safety and Standard Authority of India, they have come up with solution. This is called FoSTaC. They have come up with very strongly. So one by one, they have standardized all the requirements, all the basic needs which one manufacturing should have. Obviously, we can go for, yeah, yeah, please. Who's there? Okay. So, so we are into today. We will going to learn this manufacturing advanced level. Like in that, mainly we'll talk about hygienic sanitary practices, which one manufacturing food and manufacturing premises has to follow. Right. One thing, one ground rule is this. Like if anybody has certain query, meanwhile we can ask. I mean, there's no certain boundaries and time bound. Like we'll only ask questions at the end of the session. Any point of time, so having certain questions, certain query, please raise it immediately, right? There's no punctuality and all that. Like, no, we can ask only later on. There's no as such rule, ground rule, right? So this is the ground rule for me. Okay. So like that, we have to start, but somehow we are behind the schedule a little bit. Okay. So, okay, this is all about content, right? It's a course objective, basic training of food safety supervisors to brief participant on. I mean, this is what we should, elaborate on more and more into this, like FoSTaC and cascading mode of capacity building, a role of trainers in FoSTaC. Like that, we have to cascade, right? So this is all about examination assessment of participant. At the end of the session, you will have one, assessment series, one assessment rather, not series. So you have to qualify that assessment part, then only will get your certificates, right? So be careful, be attentive, whatever we are discussing, whatever we are learning right now. So be attentive on that, right? So like that, we will evaluate your uh, training part, right? So here, like food safety training and certification, if you'll go by, this FOSTEC website, so there are roughly 19 courses, basics, advanced, special, online. So there are so many courses which they have introduced. So yes, so like different courses are there as per the different category. Means supply chain has been covered entirely. In that, like retail is also covered, distribution is also covered, right? Manufacturing is also covered. Meat is separately they have covered. Okay, catering is separately they have covered. So like that, manufacturing is also separately covered. It's in advanced level, right? Yeah, in case of any query, please ask. I mean, it's not a time bound, or maybe there's no mandate as such. Okay, we can ask any time, any point of time, right? So objective of this training is dissemination like of FSS Act of facilitated compliance, FSMS, GHP, GMP, building capacity, bringing uniformity in the quality of food safety training ecosystem in the country. So I mean, we all know, and we people are doing. Why I'm asking? I mean, initially I started with introduction part, just to understand where are we. I mean, if we'll to elaborate the training and start training, we should know that who all are your participants, right? So I mean, I know that you all are working with one of the maybe good companies, right? And you know the system. You know you are follower. You are implementer over there. You are policy maker over there. You know the system very well. So why this training? Just to learn, just to be uniform. Make uniform yourself. That whatever we are learning here, this is all basic requirement which government wants. Over and above, top of that, we can, yes, advance, make it advanced and more advanced. We can go anyhow. I mean, as far as possible, right? So this is all about this FOSTEC, how it works. So one is, you know, basically they have come up with the idea like how we can provide safe and nutritious food to our home, schools, works, at workplace. So parallelly, FBOs are they are associated and they are working together, just to improve. Uh, these categories, these sectors, like where which is niche. I would say, like, in India, this is niche. So people slowly they have started and they're coming up with concepts. And now recently one uh, they have introduced, like, if somebody is working, preparing the food within home only, home itself, and selling it outside, so they have to take FSSAI license, they have to retain FSSAI license, right? So this is a new concept which has come up from my FSSAI team. And also, like, to develop health and wellness, coordinators are there. So why coordinators are required? Because as soon as this FoSTaC FSSI cannot reach at every level. So what they are doing, these people are generating manpower uniformity. They are coming up with some certain uniformity and making us uniform, knowledgeable in terms of requirement schedule 4, if we talk about. So that what will happen, so whenever they are coming up certain guidelines, so at least they would analyze that, okay, basic levels are covered. So people will not get they won't get tussle or hustle that, okay, something is not happening and something is not available. At least basic level is there, so they can develop themselves and working together, and they can develop themselves and their factories and their whatever wherever they are working, their work area basically. So if something is base is completed, then only you can develop yourself, you can prepare yourself for the advanced level. So this is the basic criteria for FoSTaC and FSCCI. So right now what we are doing, we are developing ourselves for the base level, right? Although we are sustaining, and whatever we are doing it, our job very in good manner. But there are certain guidelines which will give you a uniformity, so that we can whenever new session, new something, something new concept will come out, so automatically we'll upgrade ourselves. So this is the way, like, FoSTaC is working. Are you getting my point? Yeah. Yeah.
Yes,
Can you hear
yes.
me? Can you? So my objective is, FoSTaC objectives, like, they are preparing us for the ground level. So although we are all like set, everything is well managed, we are managing our show, managing our factory level problems, day to day issues. But here, FoSTaC is not aware of it. They are thinking that, okay, first we'll have to go by go, I mean, from step by step. So first step is, like, we have to prepare ourselves for the base level, then only we can go for advanced level. So something will come, something new will come out of it, then definitely we can develop ourselves. So like that they are working, right? So this is all about background, how it initiated. It launched on 17, 2017. Again, what I had discussed, like, capacity building and certification program started by FSSI training personnel as a prerequisite for ensuring food safety and this hygiene among the target audience, right? You must be aware that, like, previously, if you talk about 4 or 5 years back, there were only 1 or 2% who were the part of quality or food safety. They were few. They were very few. People are they are the person who are the policy maker, and who themselves preparing all the SOPs, and they themselves filling all the checklists, right? I mean, I'm talking about 4 5 years back. So scenario was there, like, uh, people are doing it, preparing, first of all, making SOPs, getting it signed, getting it approved, and then they themselves filling at the ground level. So I mean, there is no checker, there is no verifier. So one person who is also checker, who is also, like, verifier. So in that means, by that mean, we cannot be sure that whatever product we have produced, it's all conformity, right? Right? Am I audible? Yeah.
Yes,
Okay. Are you getting my point?
yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So now, slowly, we have also initiated. I mean, FSSI has come up with idea of this FOSTAC, and they are more stringent now in terms of certification, in terms of licenses, in terms of registration. So now they are coming up with these ideas, like, okay, at least basic minimum 25 out of food handler, if person is handling 25 food handlers, right? So in that, at least one supervisor should be there, and that supervisor should be of FOSTAC trained, relevant to your respective area, your respective area, wherever you are working, whichever your product you are handling. If it is good, then fine. Yes, you have to be sure enough that okay, he's a supervisor, he know the basic do's and don'ts, he know the know-hows, how to handle it, and how to prevent cross contamination, how to handle hazard, what are the control measures, right? So he should be aware of that. So whatever we are doing, we are learning right now. So if not, then definitely we'll end of the session, we'll get to know that okay, these are the things which is required and now I'm aware of it, right? So you'll be at that position, you should be at that position, right? So I mean, my intention is like ask as many as question if you can, so that would be a win-win situation for me, for you as well. Okay. So safe, this background again, as a part of FoSTaC initiative to ensure safe wholesome food, FSI initiated the SNF program, home, school, workplace, nutrition. So all categories has been covered now. So basic level, advanced level, special level. This special level is also there. Milk and milk products, meat and meat, poultry, fish and seafood, bakery, packaged drinking water. So these are the specialized category, wherein more and more, if we talk about, more stringent requirements are there. So and these are the basic requirements for day-to-day lives. Just to our so these are the requirement where risk is much more prone. So that is why they are coming to, they have come they are coming in this special category. So person who is delivering and who is taking the trainings, these all are the special categories, right? And these, because I mean, these are the very risky, they are very risk prone. So that is what, like, special training has been given to these category particularly. So national level resource partner are there, state level trainers, qualified food safety professionals, and supervisors, that you will become this qualified food safety supervisor now. And then national level resource, I mean, there are persons who is having who has become taught, so trainer program, and definitely assessor also. So they have come up with the idea that one person will be skilled, and if he'll go next level, though he will become the trainer, right? So taught program is there, and state level programmers there, just to monitor, just to see the compliance is happening or not. So these all are a basic FOSTEC. You must be aware of that, because it's a this grassroots level things. Okay. So
Since most of us
yeah,
are,
yeah.
see, among the participants, most of us are from the mango processing only. Means
Okay.
almost 12 members are from our factory only.
Good, good,
So
good.
we will be, means it will be great for, if we can upgrade the standards relevant to our
Perfect, perfect. So Miss Aruna,
quality
like, okay.
constraints.
So right now, any standard other than obviously FSI is there, but other than that, any
Yeah,
particular standard you are
FSSC
following?
certified. FSSC
FSSC.
certified.
Okay,
Yeah,
FSSC volume. Okay, volume 5. Okay, version 5, right?
certified.
Okay, okay,
Yeah.
fine. No problem, no problem. So any specific, query
With
or
what
so.
legal requirements, especially legal requirements concerned with our
Mm-hmm,
industry.
mm-hmm. So I mean, my intention is like as many as please ask as many as question you can ask, because that time, because I'm not sure what type of question you are having, right? So if you ask, then only I'll be able to answer it.
Means anything in the
Anything
what
related to your process, anything related to your process, manufacturing, or maybe supply chain, entire supply chain, I would say. So anything which is especially which is a part of again this FOSTEC program, which comes under this, you may ask, you may ask, right?
means will it would be great if we can know what any changes happening for the
So there is so
new standards.
this is so there is no there is one another version has come up, 5.1, which I'm not aware of right now. Any
Yeah,
I mean, I'm
yeah,
not sure, I'm
5.1
not sure many of us are not aware of it, because people are still looking forward for the
November 3rd
requirements.
only it was released. Yeah,
Yes, yes, yes.
it was
So
released
people,
on November 3rd only.
so people are who are already sitting in the industry and certification agencies. They're still they are looking for those requirements, which is very
Yeah,
soon going to release from their side requirement, basically I'm saying. So
yeah.
requirements so far is not released. So far, so because that is what they have given time for this. By January they will going to implement. So this session is not
But
about
before that, they are saying we have to be certified for 5.0. Then only we can upgrade to
yes,
4.0.
yes, yes, yes. That's a basic requirement. Okay. So let me just explain. Okay, this session is basically for advanced level food manufacturing, which anyways is not going with no
I
not going to
means
change.
what my request is
Yeah.
means any analysis part has been introduced by FSSA that this
Mm-hmm.
has to be means done like that.
Mm-hmm.
Anything has come up from FSSA, any change in standards, that also you please update in this meeting.
Okay.
This
Okay.
is only the
But
request.
one thing is sure that nothing has been changed from the FSSAI, right?
Okay.
Nothing has been changed so far.
Means earlier they were saying melamine and crop contaminants, all food products they have to, anybody in the food sector should be get it analyzed. But later on they have changed, I think, no?
So that, no, ma'am, that would be a separate part because right now we are only discussing about it's not specific to your industry, it's not specific to your any particular industry. It's a basic manufacturing concern. So for that reason, I mean, volume, FSSC changes and all that. Because if somebody will ask BRC, then BRC is having different, set of requirements. So obviously we cannot meet
Only
out.
FSSA only we will
No,
discuss.
FSSI.
Aruna ma'am, don't
Changes
worry.
in FSSA,
What we'll
anything
do,
is there, then we'll
Aruna ma'am, don't worry. What we'll do, we'll have a 30-minute dedicated session for mango processing industry based on what are the 12 standard documents which a food safety officer would check whenever they are visiting your place. And
yeah.
then whatever is the standards related to licensing and registration, these two aspects we will surely discuss in 30 minutes. Because see,
Thank
this is a
you.
schedule 4 training. So
Yeah.
schedule 4 training means most of the things which we would be discussing here would be based on the compliance as listed in schedule 4 inspections. So the
Oh,
broad purpose of today's session is to prepare you to comply with the Schedule 4 requirements. So in today's session, we'll discuss what are the Schedule 4 requirements. Then we'll discuss
officer is
thank you.
expecting from us when they visit our place. Once we are completing the Schedule 4 requirement, we will certainly discuss industry specific requirement, maybe based on standards, because see, standards are very limited. That would only require maybe a discussion of 30 minutes. So don't worry, we'll discuss it separately today itself, maybe around 3:30. So let's go ahead with the
Thank you.
session on schedule 4, because see, as a food business operator, we'll all have to comply with three basic requirements. What are those? First and foremost, what is the requirement of law in respect to licensing and registration? Because licensing and registration is the first step any food business has to take whenever they are deciding to go into a food business. So that we would be discussing. Second, whenever somebody is applying for a license or registration, they would have to comply with a bare minimum requirement of general hygiene and sanitary practices. Unless people are not complying with those bare minimum requirements, so which is the bottom line. So those requirements, unless they are not complying, they'll not get the license. The corollary to this is, suppose one has got a license or a registration, but after getting that license or registration, they are not complying to these requirements. They will get a improvement notice under section 32 and they may lose their license or registration. And what are those bare minimum requirements? Those bare minimum requirements are listed in schedule 4 of a food safety standards licensing and registration regulation. So that schedule 4 of food safety standards licensing and registration regulation 2011 would be of prime discussion today, post which we will discuss industry specific requirement. Mrityunjay sir, you can just go ahead
Yeah,
with
yeah.
the schedule 4, and then I
Perfect.
have understood what most of the participants are expecting,
Yes,
and
yes, yes.
we'll get to that also.
Fine. Thank you. Thank you so much. So right, we'll be starting this session begin here, right? So if you talk about definition, right, all of you is aware of already that food safety, basic food safety. We people are working all together, enhancing the food safety systems. So anyhow, like I've just read it out. So as per the definition part, like food safety means assurance that food is acceptable for human consumption, right, according to its intended use. Okay. So here, like if I'm telling that intended use, so anybody can elaborate this part. What is intended use here related to maybe mango pulp industry, ma'am? So what is the intended use for your product? If we talk about food safety perspective, yeah.
Maybe juices, jams, as
Okay.
it becomes as a raw
Juice.
material for another retail industry. Our product is a
Okay.
raw material for another retailer. It is not
Fine.
directly to the end customer, the
Okay.
end user.
So it has to be consumed. It cannot be consumed directly, right? If
Yeah,
somebody, if anyone want to consume it immediately or maybe as it is, so they cannot consume it. They have to reprocess it again, right? Is it
Yes.
so? Okay. Fine. So while conducting this, HACCP, while generating our HACCP plan, this has to be come under this section. So we need to elaborate this intended use, right? So whosoever is,